Alright, here we have our 1974 Chevy Cheyenne. It's a, K10, C10, whatever you want to call it, K1500, they're called all kinds of different things, but it's a regular cab short bed. It's the short wide bed with the fleet side. It's hard to find and always kind of going up in value. 4x4 truck, of course. It's a cherry Victory red. It's a Chevrolet color exterior. We'll do just a little bit of walk around video here for you so you can see how good this thing is and how beautiful the color pops. I might take the camera a couple minutes to focus, but I did most of the pictures in normal lighting, and then I did the front and very back in the sun so you can see how bright it is and what a nice color it is. But this is the older cosmetic restoration, interior and motor and stuff like that. It's a great looking truck, and this is a really good looking eye catcher. Gets a ton of compliments, but could use a couple little things, and there's a couple things in the paint that are older and kind of started to come through. It's really solid, no real rust to find, but we'll go ahead and get into the nitty gritty here. But it's a base clear coat paint, I'd probably guess it probably was done 5 to 10 years ago, and they kind of did the interior and some stuff like that, but I'll kind of get into that. But you can see the clear coat's bubbling a little bit. Somebody's put these, it's kind of like a decal or adhesive or something, but the hood's not really all bowed out and it opens up really nice. It's got a rock chip that's been touched up there, pretty good size one. And then it's got these bullet decals. You could just take these off. It's not really my taste, but some people think they're cool, but they're kind of covering up some dings, obviously. Like I can push, I can feel there's a ding in there and there's a ding right there. Along the lower valance, it's got the kind of these tiny little bubbles. You'll find these in a couple places, but I'll show where they all are. This camera only allows me about 10 minutes of video, so if it does cut me off, I'll start another one. But like mentioned before, I'll do most of the mechanicals and the driving on a separate video. There's a little ding that's been touched up in the hood. Take you up to here, and it's kind of on the high points. The edges of this body is where you're going to see these tiny little air bubble in the clear coat. That's probably why you got a little bubble there. I took this by a body shop because the cab corners, rockers, and floors are extremely solid, but it does have a couple spots like this, and they think it's just from bad prep work. They think there's this condensation between the paint and the body, and not rust. But you can see the hood's just a little bit out of alignment here, but it's not all bowed and bent. Rock chip that's been replaced or touched up. Rock chip has been touched up, and you'll find this throughout the truck. I mean, obviously stuff happens when you drive and enjoy it. It's got the front bull bar again. Not really my taste, but that's why we leave them on there. I don't want to take them all off, and then somebody would love to have it. It's got the just kind of the factory painted grill. Kind of the little stuff you'd expect on a truck of this age. We were able to pull a history report on this truck. Usually 1981 and older trucks you can't, or cars. So this is probably one of the only vehicles on the planet that has a history report as far back as it goes. It's a local Northwest 3-owner. And you can see, just like I was talking about before, on the edge, both sides of the doors have this. On the very top, just on the top, you can see, damn camera won't focus, but you can see just up there, there's a couple little bubbles right there. Not rust bubbles, but from the clear coat. Now this is that same kind of bubbling over there. You can see that the paint's gone away, and so it's rusted the metal, but it's really solid. I'm not a body expert, but you can see the bed isn't all bent in. The cab corners are really nice. Rockers are really nice. I'll pop the door open here in a minute. You get your little rock chips, here and there after the wheels. It's got a lift kit with 35-inch tires, 12.5s that stick out. So you get your little rock chips along there. It's kind of a typical. You can get your little chips along there. And you got your chips, that right along here. It's got dual tanks and locking gas caps. We got some chips along here, and this originally was like a goldish truck, but here you can see there was like a slight crease, and you can see it on the side photo. It goes as long as my finger follows. There's no paint damage, so I'm assuming it was there before they sprayed it. And then here you'll see a couple tiny little bubbles, but really you got to get your face real deep into it. Little touched up spot there. Again, those little bubbles. Not trying to say too much negative about the truck, but I don't at the same time want to say too much positive in it. And I think the tailgate's probably been resprayed, after the truck was painted, because the paint job is, they kind of avoided getting a couple crucial areas, little chips. They basically just didn't do much prep work besides just sanding it down real fast. And you'll see the paint doesn't look quite as good there. It's got the same stainless trim here to kind of protect the body and paint. That's along the bottom of the body, and then it has that same kind of, it's kind of like a rhino lining tape. I've never really seen it before, but it's kind of cool. Touched up scratch there. You gotta get your same little chips here. But I mean, this really is a gorgeous truck. I mean, I can feel behind here, there's no rust. Really nice condition. You can see there's no Bondo or anything right there. Really clean in and out. Just your little chips. And these little short beds, they're hard to find nowadays. You got your same little bad prep work bubbling or whatever that may be. You know, it might be rust. I can't really tell. I mean, this doesn't want to pull away or anything. So, little crack in the paint there. Again, really nice rockers. Cab corners, and these are the first thing to go. That's why I think it might be just prep work like American Auto Body said. But that's pretty much it. You got your little chips there, and then this door looks like it might have got hung up on something, or you know, you got some little chips here, but maybe the door was out of alignment at one time. But we have no door seg now. They open and close really good. As you can see here, it's got some seals here, so you got to kind of shut the doors pretty good. But you can see there's no door seg at all. It's a nice solid sound. Interiors, you know, was probably just kind of like an older cosmetic job. You know, probably just replace the dash. I assume this was probably like a gold. You can see there's a little bit of gold there, but a gold with tan interior. But you know, you could do a couple little things to make it a really nice interior, but it's perfectly presentable as is. It's got tilt steering. The dash was all painted. Got your manual shift transfer case, but stuff like that, for example, you know, maybe just respray the glove box door Victory Red. You can get that in spray cans. The seat's black, but it's kind of starting to get like a little bit of a gray look to it, and it's a little bit more worn here where the driver's butt goes and a little seat. But the nice thing is it does latch, so it's not just going to fold forward on you. The carpet was fully replaced. So when they did paint it, they did do a good job. I mean, they did the jams, they did the inside of the cab, they did everywhere. But it's just, you know, kind of a couple years have gone by, and you know, the wear and tear. And again, there's that tape again. It's not covering up any rust or nothing. Nice and solid. But it's really kind of cool stuff. I wish I knew where they found it. But all the gauges work. That's one thing that's cool. It's got aftermarket CD player, dual tank switch. So you can see the, and you know, it's missing a little bit of trim piece here. You know, I don't know exactly what that is, but I mean, you could go through, you know, it's got Pioneer CD system. It's kind of little things you could go through and, you know, do, and then it'd be a super clean interior. But it's really, you know, this is a really nice truck as is. I've enjoyed driving it and owning it. It drives really good. You can see the rockers, you know, no door seg. It's nice and solid. Carpet was replaced, and the carpet's in great shape. You know, and again, the sides of the vinyl here are great, so really, you could probably just do the side of the vinyl over there and just maybe a new butt bottom, and you'd be really good. But as I mentioned here, you know, it's maybe they lost the glove box or whatever. The dash pad looks pretty good. There's a little bit of warping around that defroster vent, but the headliner was all done in black. You know, these fold down nice. They don't want to fall down in your face. But yeah, so you got to close it pretty good. I mean, it's not because of any door hinge issues. It's just it's got that kind of molding in there. So we'll go ahead and pop this hood. It's got a crate 350 in it with the electronic carburetor, the Quad-Jet. A lot of room in this engine bay. It's still got the original decal. And this inner fender well's really solid, but underneath the battery tray is a little bit of rust. You'll see there, but it's really clean. The frame rail over here has been repaired with like a professional job, so it's nice and solid. That's not a worry. So do a quick fire up here for you. Might run out of video here, and I'll do another short one. But you can see all the gauges are working. It's cold, you know, hasn't been ran. Gas gauge works. Got the aftermarket tack. And it's just condensation coming out. You know, there's no mist or oil coming out. Any fluids you see in the water is just